Exercising self-control can be very challenging. Resisting a warm donut, going to the gym to work out, or finishing that complex project at work can sometimes feel overwhelming. But why? As Kahneman so effectively demonstrates in Chapter 3 of Thinking Fast and Slow, self-control takes a toll on us physically and mentally. In fact, when we exert mental, emotional, or physical effort, we draw on a finite pool of energy that can run low. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as ego depletion. Our ability to exercise self-control diminishes as our reservoir of energy is diminished. For example, in one series of experiments, people were given a choice between healthy foods like broccoli and carrots and unhealthy foods like cake and cookies. After eating, they were asked to participate in a difficult cognitive task. Interestingly, the people who ate the healthy foods gave up earlier on the task than the group who ate unhealthy foods. The healthy eaters had depleted their self-control for the next challenge, requiring additional self-control. Kahneman notes that when we put ourselves in ego-depleting situations, we often set ourselves up to fail. When we are fatigued, we are more likely to deviate from our diet, overspend on impulsive purchases, overreact to provocation, and generally make poor decisions. But we aren't just vulnerable after exercising self-control. Our decision-making is also impacted when we are tired and hungry. A study by the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences tracked the rulings of 8 parole judges in Israel. On average, the judges spent about 6 minutes per case and only approved 35% of parole requests. However, just after eating, the approval rate spiked to 65%. And after a long session, with almost 2 hours left to the next feeding, approval rate steadily dropped to about zero. The weary and hungry judges defaulted to denying paroles and punted to a future parole hearing. It is no wonder that Kahneman labels our system 2 as the lazy controller. We are capable of thinking, yes, but we tend to think as little as possible or at the most comfortable level we can get away with. Here's an example for you to experience. Solve this problem quickly on site. A bat and ball cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Easy, right? You probably said that the ball cost 10 cents. But you would be wrong. The answer is 5 cents. Think about it. If the ball costs 10 cents and the bat was $1 more than that, $1.10, then the total cost would be $1.20. To get a total of $1.10, the ball must cost 5 cents and the bat must cost $1.05 for a total of $1.10. What you just experienced is System 1, your intuition, giving an answer to which System 2, your computational system, lazily affirmed without checking. And don't feel bad about that. About 50% of students at MIT, Harvard, and Princeton gave the wrong answer as well. We are too quick to trust our intuitions without really checking. Like Kahneman says, our cognitive mind is a lazy controller that all too happily affirms the suggestions of our intuitions. But is there a correlation between our cognitive abilities and our self-control? To answer this question, researchers conducted a longitudinal study of children from 4 years old into their mid to late teens. They brought the 4-year-olds into an empty room with a chair and a desk. On the desk was an Oreo cookie and a bell. They were told if they could wait 15 minutes by themselves without touching the cookie, they would be rewarded with another Oreo cookie. If they couldn't make it for 15 minutes without eating the cookie, they could ring the bell and end the experiment. What the researchers found was that the children who were able to exercise self-control and resist the cookie did much better as teens in later cognitive tests. They were more able to allocate their attention to the task at hand, were less likely to take drugs, and more able to regulate their emotions. One fascinating conclusion from all of this is that cognitive ability may be less rooted in native mental gifts and more in how engaged our rational faculties are by virtue of self-control. And as we have seen, if you want more self-control, you need to be well-fed, well-rested, and in a state that is not ego-depleted.